Kula Lunge versus side reins. I've done this video to demonstrate how KPH Raven travels both with side reins and then in the Kula Lunge. I've kept the entire training session to around 10 minutes because I like to keep my training sessions short and sweet when a horse is coming back into work. Raven has been broken in, and then I've turned him out for a couple of months to let him grow, and now he's coming back into work. So I always utilize the Kula Lunge to bring the horse back into work because I find it easier for me to ride them once they've got a little bit of their top line muscle back and are working in a swinging and connected frame. For the sake of demonstration, to show you how differently the Kula Lunge affects the horse versus the side reins, I've incorporated the side reins into this training session, but not. For the purpose of this demonstration, I have worked Raven in both directions, firstly in the side reins and then in the Kula Lunge. As I said previously, the session was under 10 minutes, but you can see a clear difference in his connection and way of going in the side reins versus the Kula Lunge. This is because the side reins are attached to the roller, so they only affect the front of the horse and do not help to engage the hindquarters. So while the side reins are encouraging Raven to work in a round, connected frame, they are not creating elasticity in the paces, and for quite a bit of this session, he's actually curling behind the contact rather than reaching for the connection in the side reins. When we are riding the horse, we have contact on the horse's mouth with the reins, and the side reins are meant to replicate this. However, we also use our legs to encourage the horse's hindquarters to engage, to bring them up through the shoulder. So with the side reins only being attached to the roller around the horse's belly, this isn't happening. The Kula Lunge has an elasticated hindquarter sling which encourages Raven to engage his hindquarters and step under, which then gets him more up through the shoulder to create a more balanced, connected frame, as you can see in the video. The Kula Lunge is also able to rotate slightly to allow Raven to flex and bend in the direction he is travelling in, the same as when a rider is on the horse's back and the rider turns their shoulders to keep them parallel with the horse's shoulders. So you can see in this video that Raven has a much more consistent connection when he is working in the Kula Lunge, as he has an elastic contact from the side reins, which don't stop at the girth but are attached to the hindquarter sling. You will also see that Raven's transitions are much more consistent as he is feeling supported and connected with the Kula Lunge. This in turn makes it easier for me when I'm riding him, as he already has the strength and ability to work in a round connected frame. So rather than trying to install these things under saddle, I'm installing them from the ground to then take under saddle. And this actually makes it easier for the horse because they have a knowledge of what I want without my weight being on their back. So it's always about strengthening the horse and making them more comfortable, and they're more comfortable carrying a rider. While Raven is a newly broken in horse that I'm utilising to demonstrate both the Kula Lunge and the side reins, I do use the Kula Lunge on my more experienced horses, depending if I am time poor and I need to get them worked, then this is a quick and easy way to get them worked in a round connected frame. There is absolutely no value having your horse running around you in a circle with its head in the air, unless that's how you want it to go when you're riding it. But if you want a horse that's on the bit, consistently round and connected with smooth, connected transitions, then this is the way to lunge. You can see that Raven is even on both sides. He has clear flexion and bend in both directions. He doesn't overbend either direction, and he's balanced on both sides. This is because I have utilised the Kula Lunge to break him in and then to continue his training. And then I will incorporate my riding into continuing his training, but we still will come back to the Kula Lunge at times. I like to be able to cross-train my horses so that they don't get tired of the work that they're doing and the horse just doesn't get tired and muscle sore. For a young horse, adding the weight of a rider is pretty significant, not only from it being a new experience for them, but also from the fact that they've got to learn to carry that rider. So the value of incorporating the Kula Lunge is that they learn to carry themselves in the correct frame firstly, then you add the rider into the scenario, and then they learn to carry that rider and remain balanced and connected. So with dressage and horse training, it's all about making the horse stronger, more balanced, and making it easier for the horse to carry the rider. So if you have your lunging your horse and it's running around in a hollow frame, it can be dangerous because it can actually slip over. It can become unbalanced, can actually do injuries to itself, and there's no value in that apart from you attempting to wear the horse out before you get on it. If you continue to do this, you can then just make the horse fitter, which can then make it more difficult for you to ride when you want to ride it. And again, there's no value in that. Lunging the horse in a round, connected frame adds value to your training. And this is where you incorporate the Kula Lunge into your training. I've provided extensive videos on how to get started with the Kula Lunge, or feel free to PM me and I can give you some advice. As I've always said, start off with the side reins not attached, then attach the side reins loosely, then slowly tighten them up to get the horse working in the desired frame. This system has been used on a multitude of different horses, from thoroughbreds through to ponies, through to warm bloods, as you're looking at here now. Right, thank you for watching this video. I hope that this has given you a good explanation on how the Kula Lunge can benefit your training with your horse. Please feel free to pop me a comment if you have any questions or you'd specifically like to see something demonstrated with the Kula Lunge. Otherwise, check out our website, kulalunge.com. Lunge systems are available to order now.